Hi, everyone. So I totally missed last Monday. I have no excuse. It was just hectic and I lost track of time. And so I was a bad girl. And Yesterday I didn't get done because, excuse me, because I wasn't here. I just got home late last evening. And so I'm doing my video now. So it's the last video of 2020. And can I just say that Christmas morning, when we were unwrapping our gifts, amongst the revelry and the joy of being with family, just our pod, by the way, not extra people, we also uh, enjoyed the crackling of the Yule fire, which we chose for our television, which was the 2020 dumpster fire. I thought that was pretty classy, really, and it was quite amusing too. So, yeah. So you might ask yourself, what do you get your favorite author for Christmas? And the answer is coffee or tea, depending on the predilections of said author. In my case, I go both ways, but I prefer my coffee. Whole bean. Reviews. And I've actually gotten quite a few. I really appreciated those of you who've taken the time to, excuse me, to do a review. It's worth gold to me. I thank you so much. Best Christmas presents ever. Thank you. And um, and writing stuff. And I got a ton of writing stuff this Christmas, and I'm so excited. So you can always tell the people who are writers because they're people who get notebooks. And the first thing they do, knowing that it's just a blank notebook, is that they carefully take the pen off and then they open it up and they look at the blank pages and go, I'm so excited. I got two of these. It's a little matching set. It has two, not one, but two bookmarks, ribbon bookmarks in it. And it's small. It fits in my purse and I can carry it with me. And the pen has its own little holder right there. So I always have the pen with the book, which I adore. I think this is phenomenal. Okay. I got a 2-pack of these and I'm so happy and I can't wait to start using them. I also got a baby niffler and I love it. It's absolutely wonderful. I've decided that my niffler is, his name is Niven, by the way, Niven the niffler. But I have decided that my niffler is unusual in that he doesn't go gaga for gold like the nifflers in the Harry Potter world. He goes gaga for writing supplies. So at some point, I will take a picture of all the writing things that I've gotten for Christmas, and my birthday is coming up at the end of January too. I'm going to be a half century old, folks. I'm going to be 50 on January 26th. Holy cow. Anyway, I will take a picture of my niffler sitting like a dragon on a pile of writing stuff because that's just, it's so right. It really is. I also got calendars. I got a little tiny desktop calendar and I got a big wall calendar, both of which are fantastic, and a box of pens. And you might ask yourself, as somebody who writes on a keyboard, why would I need a box of pens? Well, the answer is that I use pens for a lot of things. I use them for making notes in notebooks. Um, and I also, when I'm writing books, I have a tendency to make little notations off to the side when I don't want to interrupt the flow of my writing, but I need to make a note of something. And so I actually always have a notebook beside me in which there's this horrid shorthand that nobody else would ever understand, but which I use to get my information down. So, and I'm always using pens. for things around the house, for writing cards. You'd think I was tired. I am tired, but um and the other thing that I'm using them for, which I didn't really anticipate, but I'm finding is really cool and kind of embarrassing in a good way, is signing books. Um, Cheap pens are not great for signing the inside of books. And because you don't want to, scribble to make it work. It has to be something that works. And the pens that I got for Christmas are absolutely gorgeous. And I gave my boyfriend's mother a copy of my cookbook for Christmas, and she opened it and immediately asked me to sign it. And I grabbed one of these pens and opened the box and grabbed the pen out. And I expected to have to, like you usually do, you have to scribble a bit to get it going. Oh no, it was smooth as silk. It was amazing right from the front. I know I'm waxing lyrical about a pen, but I can't help it. It's really nice and I love it. I also got a beautiful decorative notebook that I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for. It's got so much potential. It's got like a hand done cover, and it's like almost like watercolors on the outside, and it's really pretty. What else did I get? I got so much stuff for Christmas. I got a ton of clothes from my sister, which I really appreciate because I was like starting to run low on some stuff. And I got a lantern for my outdoor blanket fort, which I adore. When the weather is a bit warmer, I probably will actually go out there and write because, first off, I can use my Chromebook without having internet as long as I've downloaded my manuscript to it, which I do. I work offline sometimes. But also, oh, so sorry. um, Also, the internet actually reaches out there, and even though I don't have power, I can power it up and take it out. And I've got a couple hours worth of maybe more of typing, which is awesome. I like being able to do that. It's a nice shelter and it's fun to play in, and I like it. It gives me a chance to get out of the house. So, some of you may know I tried some new recipes for Christmas and my home Christmas. And I didn't use a recipe from a book. I made the recipe up for myself in my own head. And so I'm taking notes because I got a lot of really awesome feedback on that. People seemed to really enjoy the food and thought it was well worth reproducing. There are a couple of things I needed to fix. It was my first time working with not parchment paper, phyllo dough, which is like working with parchment paper. I mean, it's really, really thin, and I didn't defrost it correctly because I didn't. I was unprepared. And so there was like a lot of I didn't get it defrosted correctly, and so parts of it stuck together and it was difficult to work with. But I got enough sheets off to do the recipe, and it turned out phenomenal, and it was really good. And so it was like seared beef with mushrooms, onions, inside phyllo dough, topped with saffron, uh, just sort of sprinkled, a little bit of hand ground salt, pepper, and Parmesan, finely ground, fresh, not the powdery stuff. So yeah, it turned out gorgeous, and I had plenty of positive feedback about how it tasted. Wow. Okay, seriously, I'm so sorry. And it's almost lunchtime here. Um, so yeah, I'm excited. It went really well, and I did a puff pastry thing for my boyfriend and myself with tofu and mushrooms, which also turned out really, really yummy. So I think these are two things that I will try my hand at playing with more. So maybe you will see a cookbook that is just recipes that I've thrown together that aren't particularly medieval. We will see. Um, what else happened? Oh, yes, I'm going to be talking a lot over the next few weeks, maybe months, on prepping to write a more complex book. So when I wrote the Taylor Mage novels, or when I write them, because they're not finished, I have more to write. Um, they are very easy to write because I get in the characters' heads, I sit down, I have a very vague idea of where they're going, and I just write. And I write it as it appears in my head, and it resolves on the page in front of me, and we're done. However, that does not work for all kinds of books. And one of the books that I am starting on, um, actually started working on it on Monday, is that I am working on a science fiction novel, which is heavier on the science end of things. And so I have a co-author that I'm working with because I don't do the science. And even though I've had this story in my head for years, I've never written it because I didn't feel I could do it justice. And he has offered to co-write with me, give me some insight into the military machine, which is a part of what I'm doing, and helping me with the science part of this, which is very important and central to the story. So, in prep for doing this, unlike with my vampire novels, I actually have to plot this in advance because he has to know where the story arc is going. And I need to know so I can tell him in advance what kind of things I need. So, I pulled out one of the Save the Cat beat sheet type things. I found it, I think I found it on Pinterest. Sorry. um, and copied it into a Google Doc and wrote it out. And it's giving me, you write down these different bits and pieces, and you work on that, and each one gets expanded into something more. And so I have a more of an idea of where this story is going from the get-go than any of my other stories. And it's putting a whole different spin on my writing. So I'm going to be sharing on my Monday videos this new to me method of planning my novel in advance, and how to make it, even though I'm using the basic outline of a beat sheet, how that translates into a book that is different and unique and wholly mine own, while still following the kind of general rise and fall and denouement, finishing up of the story. So, yeah, I am ready to bid adieu to 2020. All of you out there, please keep wearing a mask, or wear a mask if you haven't been until now. We're getting close to the end of this thing. With vaccination, we'll have a lot better grasp on things. It's not going to be immediate. You don't get the jab and suddenly that's it, but it's getting better. There is an end in sight, and that makes the waiting a little bit easier. I know that this has been undeniably impossible for so many people. But if you can just hold on for a few more months, if there's something I can do, let me know. I don't have a lot of money to spend, but if I can offer you time, advertising, words of wisdom, a shoulder to cry on, at least virtually, I will do what I can. So remember to wear your mask, wash your hands, keep your distance, hold off on those hugs for a few more months. And with luck, we will have a Ren Fair season this summer. I hope to see many of you because I miss terribly dressing up in costume and camping on the weekends. Have yourselves a wonderful new year. I hope your Christmas was beyond fantastic. And I hope that Santa got you a little bit of what you wanted and a lot of what you needed. May your new year shine with the brightest of lights, and may you enjoy the full moon that's going to be out on Wednesday evening. I love you all. Thank you for supporting me for yet another year. And I'll see you all next year.